Aquatic ecosystem. The marine environment of the oceans and the freshwater systems like wetlands, rivers, ponds, and lakes together constitute the aquatic ecosystem. The plethora of natural resources is provided by aquatic ecosystems to all human beings. Fish, crustaceans, etc. are the foods provided by them. All the organic and chemical waste formed by humans is broken down by aquatic systems like oceans and rivers. Plants and animals in an aquatic ecosystem are found underwater. These species of plants and animals are habituated to survive in various kinds of aquatic habitats. The exceptional abiotic attributes of aquatic ecosystem are its physical facets like the quality of water which involve clarity, rate of flow, oxygen content and salinity. Stagnant ecosystems and running water ecosystems are the two types of aquatic ecosystems. The characteristics of an aquatic ecosystem are changed due to the rocks or mud gravel that form the bed of this ecosystem. The composition of various species of plants and animals living underwater are also influenced by this substratum. Characteristics or features of aquatic ecosystem. The abiotic and biotic parts of the aquatic ecosystems have the following characteristics. 1. Oxygen. 2. Temperature. 3. Alkalinity and acidity. 4. Light. 5. Substratum. 6. Autotrophic organisms. 7. Heterotrophic organisms. 1. Oxygen. It is the fundamental need for the sustainability of an aquatic ecosystem. The amount of oxygen available to all living beings in the aquatic ecosystem depends on the factors that influence how it dissolves in the aquatic system. When the water is mixed, then the oxygen is exchanged with the air. Many times, the dissolved oxygen can get reduced or the oxygen concentrations can vary at various layers because of insufficient mixing in the water. 2. Temperature. Temperature has a direct impact on the solubility of many chemicals in the aquatic ecosystem. When the temperature increases, then the oxygen requirement of the organisms increase. Human activities can also affect the temperature of the aquatic system. These include industrial effluents, agriculture, forest harvesting, urban construction, etc. 3. Alkalinity and acidity. Alkalinity and acidity are the significant water characteristics that have a direct impact on the biocontent and chemical reactions occurring in the aquatic ecosystem. The ability to bear changes in acidity in the ecosystem is a very important feature. The sustenance of many life forms and plant systems depend on the alkalinity of the ecosystem. Many functions like reproduction are directly affected by the alkalinity property of water. 4. Light. Light is a necessity for the process of photosynthesis. Light, therefore, has a direct bearing on the plant life of the aquatic ecosystem. Similarly, the shade is also necessary for determining the nature of habitats living in the aquatic ecosystem. 5. Substratum. 5. Substratum. Substratum refers to the organic and inorganic matter that forms the bed of a river, stream, lake, etc. The influence of substrate on aquatic ecosystem depends on the particle size of substrate, organic content, and contact with other environmental factors. Substrate stability has a positive correlation with the biodiversity and the number of organisms that can be found in an ecosystem. 6. Autotrophic organisms. Autotrophic organisms produce organic compounds from inorganic ingredients. The algae are the most important constituent of this segment. They create biomass from carbon dioxide by using sunlight. The biomass concentration typically increases with shallowness of an aquatic system. 7. Heterotrophic organisms. Heterotrophic organisms consume autotrophic organisms and use the organic ingredients as energy sources to create their own biomass. Next is structure of aquatic ecosystem. The food cycle in an aquatic ecosystem involves the concentration of organic ingredients and the constant breaking up of the same into smaller and basic parts. The aquatic ecosystem structure has the following two parts: 1. Abiotic component and 2. Biotic component. 1. Abiotic component. The aquatic ecosystem encompasses biotic communities that are structured by abiotic environment factors and biological interactions. The major abiotic environmental factors of the aquatic ecosystem are substrate type, depth of the water, nutrient present in the water, dissolved oxygen, temperature levels, acidity levels, etc. It is very difficult to measure the importance of these factors, and a great deal of experimentation is required to determine their interconnection. For example, sediment often act as an indicator of the presence of aquatic plants, but they may also get created through peat formation. 2. Biotic component. The biotic component of aquatic ecosystem consists of all the living organisms living in the water. For example, the wetland plants can form canopies, which in turn can be used for sedimentation. Similarly, the actions of snails can also create mud flats. Since there are relatively lower oxygen levels in the aquatic biosphere, it forces the organisms to adapt. Some wetland plants produce parenchyma for carrying oxygen to their roots. The aquatic ecosystem has the following constituent parts, that is, producers, consumers, and decomposers. 1. Producers. The producers in the aquatic system include phytoplankton, macrophytes, and photosynthetic bacteria, that is, capable of producing energy containing organic ingredients through sunlight and inorganic materials. The phytoplankton is thus the most important component of the aquatic ecosystem, as every other component depends on phytoplankton for its production. 2. Consumers. Consumers are those organisms that depend upon the producers for energy intake, as they are unable to create organic matter by utilizing solar energy. These include herbivorous as well as carnivorous, such as zooplankton and fishes. The zooplankton converts the phytoplankton into food that can be consumed by fish and other animals of the aquatic ecosystem. The herbivores are dependent on the primary producers, and these, in turn, are a source of energy for the carnivores. The herbivorous are thus called primary consumers, whereas the carnivorous are thus called primary or secondary consumers. Similarly, the last carnivorous in the food chain are called secondary or tertiary consumers. 3. Decomposers. The decomposers are basically the bacteria and fungi which aid in the decomposition of the dead and decaying matter in the aquatic ecosystem. In this way, they return and recycle the minerals and nutrients to the aquatic ecosystem and influencing the final energy degradation. Hence, the decay of dead organisms is influenced by microbial action, which results in the formation of bacterial cells, which are used by the filter feeders that are assigned to the primary level of consumers. Next is functions of aquatic ecosystem. 1. The aquatic ecosystem plays an important role in the recycling of nutrients within the ecosystem. 2. It also plays the vital function of purification of the water in the ecosystem. 3. The aquatic ecosystem also influences the amount of rainfall that takes place. 4. The aquatic ecosystem is also used by humans for recreation. 5. They are also a source of livelihood for people living near coastal regions and bring in vital tourism earnings. 6. They also play a variety of roles which are beneficial to the environment, like regulating floods, recharging of groundwater resources, and acting as a huge refuge for wildlife. Types of aquatic ecosystem. The main types of aquatic ecosystems are 1. Pond ecosystem, 2. Stream and river ecosystem, 3. Lake ecosystem, 4. Ocean ecosystem, 5. Estuaries ecosystem, 6. Marine ecosystem. 1. Pond ecosystem. The pond ecosystem is a freshwater ecosystem which contains many organisms that depend on each other for their survival and nutrients intake. The pond is a very peculiar ecosystem as it is relatively quieter than other aquatic ecosystems and has no waves. It also does not have any major temperature differences between the top and bottom parts of the ecosystem. The bottom of the pond is usually muddy or silty. Since it is hard to distinguish between the pond and lake ecosystems, they are often used interchangeably. However, in a pond, the temperature is generally dependent on the air temperature. The lakes are similar to ponds but tend to be much larger in size. There is thus some differentiation of temperature in the lakes. This happens mostly in the peak winter and the summer months. The pond can be thus understood as a shallow water body having relatively quiet water and plenty of vegetation along with numerous microorganisms, animals, and big plants. 2. Stream and river ecosystem. Unlike pond ecosystem, streams and rivers are flowing water ecosystems. The flow of the water varies across streams and different plants and animals adjust to the change in speed flow. In the hilly areas, the plants and animals have to adjust to a very rapid flow in the water. There are some species of plants and animals which can survive only if The water flow is not very fast like scatters and beetles. Some species of fish like mahseer and salmon move upstream for breeding as they need crystal clear water. Due to deforestation in hilly regions, the all-time water flow has not become periodic. This creates flash floods in rains and lack of water after monsoon as the streams dry up. The ecosystem of the streams depends upon the maintenance of a clear water supply which has adequate oxygen supply. The streams can also have varying types of beds, muddy, clear or rocky. This also influences the kind of flora or fauna that flourishes in these conditions. 3. Lake ecosystem. A lake can be considered as a huge pond. The flora in the lake comprises mainly of algae which utilizes the sunlight to generate energy. This energy is transferred to all microscopic animals that feed on the algae. There are also many types of small aquatic animals that depend on the algae and aquatic food such as fishes, snails, etc. These animals are in turn consumed by carnivores, which are again consumed by larger fishes. There are also many species like catfish which feed on the muddy river bed and are thus called bottom dwellers. In this way, the energy received from the sunlight is circulated across the lake ecosystem. The plants transfer the energy to the herbivores and further to the carnivores. In return, the animals generate waste in the form of excreta, which settles at the bottom of the lake and is broken down by the bottom dwellers. This acts as an essential nutrient for the growth of aquatic plants. The plants use carbon dioxide and release oxygen, which in turn gets utilized by the animals of the aquatic ecosystem. 4. Ocean ecosystem. The ocean ecosystem is different from other aquatic ecosystems as the quantity of salt water required for maintaining and balancing the aquatic ecosystem is higher than the quantity of fresh water required. There are a variety of flora and fauna that can be found only in the ocean ecosystem. They have a lot in common with freshwater ecosystem like rivers and lakes, but they differ with one another because of their high salinity or saltwater content. The ocean ecosystem can be seen in 5 oceans: Atlantic, Arctic, Pacific, Southern, and Indian Oceans. These ecosystems are also known as saltwater ecosystems, as saltwater is the main ingredient which sustains life in the ocean ecosystem. The oceans cover 70% of the Earth's surface area. Each of the oceans has its own unique and stable ecosystem. The composition of the marine ecosystem is more stable as compared to the saltwater ecosystem. Other parameters like dissolved oxygen, light, temperature, etc. also vary between marine and ocean ecosystems. 5. Eusteries ecosystem. Estuary can be understood as a partly bounded coastal body where a river meets with the sea. At this junction, there are species of plants, seaweeds, and microorganisms which source nutrients from the ecosystem and grow at a very fast rate because of the richness of the water at this point. The estuary is a very productive nesting ground for many types of flora and fauna. It does seem intimidating. The estuaries are also called open ecosystems because they have linkages to the broader ecosystem. The rivers bring nutrients to the estuaries, whereas the tides bring the same from the oceans. The fishes and animals also help to transfer the nutrients from the estuary. The tides also flush nutrients back into the sea. The excess supply of some nutrients, mainly nitrogen, has caused a lot of changes in the estuary ecosystem. This includes the excessive growth of poisonous algae, reduced availability of oxygen, damages to the fish and shellfish ecosystem, etc. This has put the fragile ecosystem of the estuary under pressure and has brought into the question the ability of the estuary to sustain such a large and diverse ecosystem. 6. Marine ecosystem. The marine ecosystems are the biggest of the world's aquatic ecosystems. These include the ecosystems of oceans, salt marshes, estuaries, lagoons, coral seas, etc. These are different from freshwater ecosystems because they have a higher salinity or saltwater content. The marine ecosystem covers two-thirds of the Earth's surface area. They are considered as ecosystems because there is an interdependent relationship between the plant and animal life forms living in these ecosystems. The marine ecosystems also provide shelter and refuge to many life forms and support a rich biodiversity. In India, the main marine ecosystems are the Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea, and the Bay of Bengal. The sea is shallow near the coastal parts of India but becomes deeper as one goes further away. The ecosystems of these are, however, quite varied. Producers of this ecosystem are various types of algae and seaweeds. Several phytoplankton act as food source for the many types of fish, turtles, and other marine life. India has some of the best coral reefs in the world in the area around Kutch and Andaman Nicobar Islands. The coral reefs support a wide range of flora and fauna. In this sense, they are second only to evergreen forests in terms of the number of species that they support. Thank you.